Reddit, what's the funniest thing that a random stranger said to you that made you die laughing inside? I was in the drive-thru of a Wendy's one time. An employee exited the building with his headphones on and was singing "Who Let the Dogs Out" at the top of his lungs. He saw me, stopped singing, and started walking away. A few seconds later he come up to my window and said, "Yes, that is what I'm listening to." Then he walked away. I laughed so hard at the whole situation. Given your username, this story is even better. Feels good to get off work. Can't blame him. Okay, the laughter was not entirely inside, but years ago on the subway in NY, a crazy dude walks on the train and screams at everyone "You're all going to hell," and then steps off as the doors close. Total silence as the weirdness of the moment settles in. Then, without missing a beat, guy across from me goes, "Shucks, I thought this train was going to Harlem." Entire subway car of cynical New Yorkers bursts out laughing. I wish I had the balls to make people crack up like that. This is the first one I've read that actually made me laugh out loud. I was helping a customer pick out a new bra and she said she wanted her breasts to be lifted. She said, "My boobs are so saggy that if my nipples were eyeballs, I'd be able to see if my shoes were untied." I really tried my best to remain professional, but I couldn't stop laughing. LOL. She totally intended for you to crack up. She wouldn't have held it against you. I think you meant that you tried your breast. Something from high school I'll always remember. It kind of looks like Texas if Texas didn't look like Texas destroyed me. LOL. Somehow I know exactly what this means, but I can't explain it. Was leaving Walmart and the 80-ish-year-old greeter says, "Thanks for shopping at Dollar Tree. Good to hear that Creed Bratton's out of jail." Why is this my favorite? Movie just ended. Me and my dad joined the mad rush to the bathrooms. Urinals are packed. It's our turn, we doing our business. Suddenly someone rips a hug fart. LOL, it's pretty funny, but we all have manners. Still peeing. Suddenly this dude proclaims, "It was me," and runs out the door. Whole bathroom erupts in laughter. I must have been about 10 or 11 inches. I sat down on a bench next to an old guy to sort my shoe out. I took my shoe off and he just turns to me and says, "Are they golfing socks?" I look at him with a completely blank look on my face thinking WTF. As I looked away he just said, "There's a hole in one." Perfection. Thanks for this. My god. Something my father-in-law would say. The time I was waiting for takeout and the amputee owner struck up a convo. "My friend, you have to be really careful if you ever get shot in the knee or any leg bone. They don't warn you that you can't have sex for months. One night you're taking home a beautiful girl to show her your scars and the next morning your leg's gone." I can't for the life of me figure out what he means. I sense a story here. May of 2000. Passing through Norwood, Louisiana with a friend. At around 2 in the afternoon we stopped to gas up, grab some snacks at the most podunk gas station known to man. A young man, extremely agitated, comes in with frustrated gestures and angrily shouts gestures at the cashier with an accent that is beyond region, beyond stereotyping, beyond anything I have heard before. "Where the goddamned Wally?" Melons at the top of lungs, approaching hysteria and tears. Holy duck, that's a gem. As a Louisiana native who has lived all over the state at this point, it should surprise me. It really should. That I haven't heard anything like that. But it's honestly like 9 or 10 different countries down here. I've got to be honest. I work in retail, and I'm not sure why, but this had me dying for a while. I still laugh when I think about it. Me. "How you doing today, sir customer?" "Yep." And he went on his way. Once I was walking into class and my teacher told me "Hey," but I thought he asked how I was doing, so the conversation actually went "Teacher, hey me, I'm good. I work in retail and yeah, I have so many of these types of weird interactions." Nice. Please smash the subscribe button to enjoy daily AskReddit content. Met a guy while camping a few years ago. He told us, matter-of-factly, that he was a redneck hippie back in the 60s. He was there for the sex and the drugs, but not so much that love and peace shocks. We still crack up about that. I think I know that guy. He does national tour camping trips every year and lives in my hometown. Redneck hippie is only the beginning of his tale. Sounds more like an honest hippie to me. When I was about 8 years old, 40 some odd years ago, my mother and I were waiting to be seated at a restaurant, and an older gentleman was ahead of us also waiting. The waitress asked him if he'd be smoking, back when that was still a thing in restaurants, and he replied no, but I may burst into flames later. Young me laughed all through lunch at that. In fact, it still makes me giggle lol. And after his meal the waitress asked, "Do you want a box for the burger?" and he replied with, "No, but I'll wrestle you for the fries." An old man on the street with a big jack-o'-lantern grin on his face and 2 chihuahuas under each arm loudly proclaiming to no one in particular, "I used to carry grenades. Now I carry dogs. A significant upgrade, of course. Edit. My first coin. Thanks. 2 chihuahuas under each arm. There were 2 under each arm? You mean to tell he was carrying 4 chihuahuas? That's uncanny. I think I prefer grenades." When I was a freshman in college I had a pair of rainbow bell bottoms I made and wore a lot. I walking through the city back to the dorms when a guy rode up behind me on a bicycle. He was old, had long, scraggly grey hair and a bright red and yellow windsuit on. He rode beside me for a second, stared and then yelled, "Miss, your pants are hot," quietened the road away into the sunset. It was so random and hilarious. Every time I wore those pants my friends would run up behind me and yell, "Your pants are HWAT." Okay, but do you have a picture of these HWAT pants? I tell you what, Bobby. Something I overheard as 2 kids walked past our caravan park site. A rumbling boom of distant thunder. Kid 1. I like thunder. It sounds like a 200-year-old dog who's retired and helps old people who are blind to get around. Kid 2. Silence. Kid 1. You know Kid 2. But why is it retired? Kid 1. Because it's old. Kid 2. But it's still helping blind people. Kid 1. Silence. This boy maybe 5 came up to me while I was on a trail. He swishes this stick, and it makes a whooshing sound. He said, "Do you hear that? That's the sound of pain." Children are simultaneously really smart and really dumb. Just the other day checking out at the Cracker Barrel, the older gentleman ringing my wife up accidentally said, with all confidence, "Have a thank you." When I worked retail, I often told people, from a misheard Tom Waits lyric, "Our receipt is our gift to you." Speaking of wives and Cracker Barrel. No so much said to me as overheard. Walking down the street with my fiance after dinner, a man and woman pass us. Very clearly I heard the man say, "And that's the second time I got crabs. I just keep a special little comb at the house now, just in case." I'm not sure of any particulars and have thought about that interaction often. So many questions. I know they heard me laugh though. Edit. Damn everyone. Thanks for all the great stories. Good to know there are so many jokers out there in the world. And that's the second time I got crabs is a throwaway joke from a scene open in the movie Super Troopers. They were messing with you. You know how to get rid of crabs? You've got to shave one testicle, then all the crabs move over to the other testicle. You light the hair on fire on that one, and when they all go scurrying out, you take a nice pick and duck and stab every single last one of them. I used to be a smoker. One time a scruffy looking man asked me for a light. I told him I only had matches. It was very windy. He said, "That's okay. There's a trick to it. You light the match and then suck down real hard. You get a mouthful of sulfur that way, but you gotta have a trick when you're going 30 miles an hour on top of a tank." Damn. I bet that guy has some stories. At first I thought, man, that sounds horrible for your lungs. Then I realized, well, cigarettes. I once was canoeing with my fiance for the first time and we were having a bit of trouble at first getting a rhythm going, so we were along the edge of the water hitting the canal. This random couple was walking along the wall and said to his wife while pointing at us, "Our canoeing. The true test of love." My fiance and I bursted into laughter for 20 minutes and then finally got our rhythm together. That guy canoes. My husband's family has a traditional summer camping trip, and one activity each year is a 20-mile river trip. We canoed together for the first couple years. It did not go well. We now each have our own kayaks, and much happier river trips. You and your sister look exactly alike. My sister was adopted from Asia. I'm so white I freckle instead of tan. I just about died of laughter because the woman actually meant it. For context, she'd met my sister a couple weeks before, but I hadn't been there, and she'd mistaken me for my sister. Nice. Please smash the subscribe button to enjoy daily AskReddit content. I was at a 50th wedding anniversary party and there were lots of elderly people in attendance. An old man was standing next to me and said, "It looks like a ducking graveyard in here." I literally spit my beer out. We were outdoors. The kicker was the guy was close to the same age as everyone else. I was at a salon with my grandma and there were mirrors all around at different angles. She turned around, looked confused, and just said, "Oh shucks, that's me." Turns out she saw herself from the back in one of the mirrors and thought there was an old lady behind her. This reminds me of my grandma. When she was in her late 60s, she worked at a small department store that had senior discount day every Friday, and she would always complain about how she ducking hated senior day because everyone was so slow and asked too many questions. Always gave me a laugh. Watched a guy walking to class at my college years ago saying, "Get the duck out of my way," to a pigeon standing in his path. The pigeon quickly waddled off to the side. Shucks, this made me laugh more than it should. I was riding the T-Subway home one night with a Spike's Junkyard sandwich of the buffalo chicken variety. A clearly drunk guy with his girlfriend said to me, "Are you going to face duck that sandwich?" To which I replied, "Yes." He then turned to his girlfriend and said, "Babe, let's get some buffalo chicken." Wow, I've never seen Spike's reference on Reddit before. My favorite spot to go after getting blackout at tits. I want love like that. In high school we were walking down the hall to the buses and I heard two girls in a conversation that cracked me up and confused me. Girl 1, "Yeah, I'm going to random guy's house tonight," something to the effect of "looking forward to it," Girl 2, "Ah well, make sure you bring protection," already kinda weird as they are just talking in the hall, Girl 1, "What? No, I'm not gonna be doing anything like that." Girl 2, "No, I meant like a knife or something." I've been laughing about that for a while now. Funny, and also too real. Years ago when queuing up for movie tickets with my family, the attendant asked the ages of our 4 kids to see if they could all get children price tickets. I announced their ages, 7, 9, 11 and 13. Without missing a beat, the stranger behind us declared, "That's an odd group. They'll even out next year." That's almost a prime response. My friend and I, both female, used to go to the Saturday market to buy fruit and veg. My friend is quite shy towards other people. I had just bought 2 huge watermelons and was carrying them, one arm each. As a guy walked past us, he shouted, "You've got nice big melons," didn't say anything else, just kept walking. My friend was shocked and I almost peed myself laughing so much. I carried a watermelon. In college, this one girl in the front of the room chimes in on something and mentioned that her eyes change color during the summer every year from blue to green. This black dude in the back of the class whispers to his friend, "Yeah, bleach," and I turn white in winter. I had to remove myself immediately before I made a scene from laughing so hard. They probably appear to due to more yellow light in the summer. This one made me burst out laughing. That black guy is a legend. Went to Chipotle after freshly shaving my head. The cashier started commenting, "Wow, what a day, look at you with your shaved head. When did you do that?" Me, "Like 20 minutes ago." Him, "Wow, what a world we live in. You and your bald head." I felt like I was in a Whitest Kids You Know skit or something. "Did you get a free great whistle?" "So, I didn't know it came in liquid form." "Science." "Well, look at you, there, with your gallon thing that you have. It's been a while." That really made me chuckle. I was rollerblading down a hill too fast and landed on my ass. Painful, sure, but not excruciatingly so. A old man walked by and said in the most jolly voice, "Is your behind okay, young lady?" I was shaking off laughter. My behind was okay, yes. I don't know why, but I pronounced it in my head like behind and Foghorn J. Leghorn's voice. "Are you sure it's okay? Doesn't it have a big crack down the middle?" I am a hostess at restaurant and my co-worker was holding door open for this table of 4 very old black women, and this woman who had just celebrated her 102nd birthday says to her friend, "Can you imagine that? Never thought I'd see the day a white boy holds the door open for us. Oh, if I was younger I'd have to make my way to you, young man." This probably isn't the funniest, but this happened the other day and came to mind. This one made me happy. People deserve respect. Smiling face with squinting eyes. Should have told her age is just a number, baby.
Nice. Please smash the subscribe button to enjoy daily Ask Reddit content.